I mean, this is gonna be a long talk. Like I
my
told you that
gosh,
like
yeah.
we're gonna talk about this in detail.
Yeah.
But as we all know, Hope is now one of the reputed institutions, educational institutions in our state. And a lot of questions I want to ask you. But let's start with how did it actually start? You know, like the vision.
Yeah.
Did you just suddenly decide like I want to start a school, or you know how did that process?
My gosh, yeah. It's a long story actually.
Yeah, let's go.
When I was in Delhi, doing my masters, and after the masters, you know, the civil service in between, I had a lot of things going through my mind.
Okay.
Like, what should I do? What do I really want? And I had written down in my a small notebook my dream, and
Okay.
surprisingly, it was to open a school.
Okay, so you actually did have that in
Yes.
mind.
But
yeah.
it just died out after
Right,
that.
right.
And I even drew the school, the uniform,
Right.
you know how where everything was going to be, and it was written down at that moment of time, packed up, forgotten. So then comes 2006, around 2006, after you know, giving birth to my two kids. It was my sister, actually, my younger sister,
Okay.
who kind of you know, for her I was this independent woman, and who is going to achieve many things in life. But when she lives in Jordan,
Okay.
so when she came to meet me, till date she said, you were like this shriveled up flower. Like, you know, she could not imagine that I had reduced myself to that, to what society would want a wife to be. You know, just
a
everything
mother.
out, and just, you know. So she said, no, this is not right. You need to do something with your life. And for her also, she was flying actually.
Okay.
She was an air hostess. She had left her job, and because she wanted to start a family, and she had joined an international school there to work as a kindergarten teacher.
Okay.
So she had undergone all the training, and while going through the training, during that whole process of training, she had, if I can do it, my sister can do it. She had that thought. So when she came, she said, no, Oyasas, you have to do something. Why don't you open a small school? I think Nagaland needs a good school, you know, and I will help you. She was very cunning in that. She said, I will come back and I will help you run the school. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, she'll come back. And she brought all the materials for me. So, you know, the thought process started from 2006. And then, you know, mulled with the idea. Then after that, I shared it with my husband. And he said, okay, if you want, you go ahead. Then I shared it with my friends, my two very good friends. And I remember Imkong, my friend Imkong, telling me, you know, it's good, but why don't you equip yourself? So there was this Montessori Institute
Okay.
here in Dimapur. So I took a diploma course
Okay.
while, you know, I was still breastfeeding my son, second child.
School administration
Yeah.
or what?
No,
what
just
kind?
Montessori.
Okay,
How
just
to-
Montessori.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that training I took. Then after that, no knowledge of how kindergarten is run, nothing of that sort. But with the help from my sister and all the little training that I got, I went ahead with opening a preschool.
Yeah, it was just a preschool in the beginning, right?
In 2007. Initially, I had around 6 students. And by the end of the year, I had 18 students.
Okay.
that's
And
how
but
it
it was still just preschool.
Yeah,
the first.
preschool, yeah.
Okay, but sorry, but just go little back.
Yeah.
During that period, like how you were saying, you know, like your sister couldn't believe that you had
Yes.
been reduced to what. So in that period of time, you were just being a mother, right?
Yeah.
You weren't doing anything. You
Nothing.
were not ambitious, and you were
Ambitious as in, like, I wanted to do certain
Okay.
things, but motherhood took
everything, like
everything.
your
yeah.
time and
Yeah, everything. Yeah. Of course, I did have ideas,
Right,
like, you
right.
know, going through my mind, all that, but not a
you weren't
school.
determined.
Not a school per se. Like, you know, yeah. I was determined to do something.
Okay. So anyway, fast forward again back to Hope Academy, and what were some of the, like, the way you're saying it, because even you hadn't like gone so far ahead with the planning. You
Yeah.
just like, okay, I'm gonna start a preschool, and then it eventually grew into what it is today. But I'm sure back then you would have thought about it a little bit, but never imagined, like, you know,
Never
what it
in
was
my
going to be.
wildest dream
Right,
did I
right.
imagine the schools be like this, because 2007 I opened playgroup and preschool. And I increased one class every year.
Every year, right?
Yeah. And that's why, though we are already 15 years, my first batch of senior secondary will appear only next year in March.
Because they literally started
Yeah.
from the
Yes, yeah. So it was a very slow and steady, I should say. Many people, said like, no, why don't you open, higher grades?
Uh-huh.
But I said, I want to hold as much only. I don't want the quality going down in any way, and
Right,
I'm
right.
in no hurry. So I will upgrade slowly. Yeah, that's how it has been.
How's the journey? Because we're going to go slowly,
Yeah.
but like, how has the journey been? Because obviously I'm aware that, like, running a school now, it's a fully fledged, like, how many students does it have?
We have around 1,400.
So that's like a lot.
Yeah.
And that will be a big burden.
Yeah.
But then along the way also, because you're still learning along the way,
Yeah.
as you were saying. So what were the challenges? Some of the main challenges
See,
that you had?
firstly, we started in a rented house. It was a small bungalow. By the second year, I had 40 students.
Okay.
And so I started looking for new
commercial space.
yeah.
Like
Then fortunately, a person came and asked me, would you like to rent the space? So I said, we would love to, just that maybe I will not be able to afford the rent. So this person was kind enough to say, no, we will make sure that the rent is not as exorbitant. So then they built the present town campus building that we have. They built it according to my specification. So I wanted big rooms, all that,
Yes.
And the student, so we shifted 2 years in the bungalow, we shifted to the main road, and it grew, and then we had to even take the house opposite.
I
Yeah.
remember that. Yes.
Yeah, because it was just growing, and in that point of time, my husband and I, we decided like we need to buy our own land. But you know how it is.
Of course.
So expensive. So went and saw this land,
The present.
Naga United Village, and we didn't have the money. So very humbly, we went to my parents and we said, if you can, loan us. We have found a land for the school. So my parents willingly loaned us the money, and we purchased the land. But in that process, it was too far then. Naga United.
Yeah, of course.
Now it
Yeah.
seems very near, but at that time it was very. Everyone was like, "Why so far? Why can't you find another land aside?" But and we don't have the money to. The
Yeah,
resources
it's
not
not
there
easy.
to just,
Right, just,
and really prayed about it. What should I do? And in that process of, so much of confusion, so much of uncertainty, not certain about anything. The land that we bought, I think the brother, the person's brother, he came and he told us, this is my piece and I want it back.
Not
And
selling
he,
it. No.
Yeah, and he gave us back the money. So now again, even more like,
Right.
So, but then we still have some time. We still had some time in that town area with the two places.
Till which class was it that time?
I think
your
it was
school?
still class 3, like that.
Okay.
But we knew that we had to
Yeah,
shift
yeah.
soon. So when my highest class was in class 3, all these things were happening. So prayed, and then the land got taken away, but still didn't give up hope. And then also on top of that, people telling us that it's too far away, and but in all this, I said, God, you need to guide me. I can't do it on my own. Then how we go to the prayer warriors and all that, and they said, no, it's it's good, there's blessing in it, don't fear. But I said, God, I don't want you answering through them. I want you to answer to me. I want a direct answer from you. So while going through that, and the land got taken away, and then one fine morning, I'm not remembering which year it was or so, my husband, he said, I'm going up just to ask whether they can give us back that land. And all this while I've been praying for a sign. So he went up and he called me and he said, you know what, they're asking back the exact amount that they gave. So I told him, God has answered my prayer. We're building the school there. I'm not going to listen to anyone. We're going to build the school there. And the next month itself, we started the foundation. And that's how,
Yeah.
and been very, a lot of struggles.
I'm sure struggles, like even financially, because
Yes.
with all the new infrastructure that
Yeah.
you're starting. Which year did it complete, or were you able to shift your campus?
2015, we managed to build the ground floor.
Okay.
And the 2 buildings in town could not accommodate all those.
Right.
So 2015 we shifted for those who wanted to shift that side.
Okay.
So
All right.
the ground floor, then after that the first floor, second. We are still in the process of, still construction is still going on. So
Okay.
yeah.